What's up guys, it's Tyler from the Aquatic Journal. Today's video is based on a question I get a lot on Instagram, so I figured I would make a video on it. This is going to be my favorite fish for a first-time fish keeper. If you have a fish in mind already that you'd like to keep for your fish tank, you certainly can keep them. Just make sure you do your research beforehand. But if you're looking for some ideas for your first fish tank, stay tuned and I'll give you some of my favorites. So what fish you keep is definitely dependent on what size tank that you start with. I recommend starting with a 20-gallon high tank. It's one of my favorite size tanks out there. If you do get a 20 high, the fish that I recommend that I like most is Guppies and Corys. Guppies will cover the top layer and the middle layer of the tank while the Corys will cover the bottom. Both are super lively. Guppies are live bears, so they'll be laying babies all the time, so you'll see lots of babies in the tank. And the Corys will swim up and down the glass and clean the bottom for you. So I think both go really well together, and it's a good lively tank that you'll enjoy looking at. If you don't want to do the Corys, another option for you is to do something like a bristlenose pleco. They only get 4 inches or so when they're fully grown, and they look pretty cool. They're not quite as lively, I would say, as Corys, but I think they're also a good addition with the Guppies. There's a lot of options besides Guppies as well. Many other live bears will work. You're just going to be constrained as Guppies are kind of the smallest of all the live bears, but I think that's your best bet if you're going to do a 20-gallon tank. If you get a tank that's bigger than a 20 high, so say like a 29-gallon or a 55 are probably the next two common sizes, what I would do in my opinion is what I've done in my 30-gallon tank that I have and will soon do in my 29-gallon tank, is I would do angelfish and I would do cherry barbs. I think angelfish are super lively, they swim back and forth, and they're super obvious. When people walk into my fish corner, the first thing that they see are the angelfish because they're big fish. They come right up to the glass. After you feed them a while, you can even put your fingers in the top of the tank and they'll look up at you like you're feeding them. So they're super fun fish to have. They're not too aggressive. They are a cichlid, so it's the only cichlid that I'll probably recommend for beginners because they really don't have so many issues as the other ones do have, and you can keep all of these fish with plants. I recommend doing planted tanks. I love planted tanks. I think they help cycling your tank, having a natural tank. And all of these fish are good with plants. It's harder if you're going to do like an Oscar per se, where those are a pretty common first fish to have, but they don't do so great with plants, and I think plants are super helpful. So that's why I recommend the angelfish and the cherry barbs. Both of them can also be spawned in your own tanks. They require a little more work than the Guppies do per se, but I've spawned the cherry barbs already and I'm working on the angels. I don't have a male, so I can't do that obviously right now, but once I do get a male, I would like to do that. The other fish that I like if you're going to have a bigger tank is platies and mollies are a great option. Those are other live bears. They get a little bigger, but they're a lot of fun. And the last recommendation I have is really any type of danio. I have some fire ring danios and some long fin zebra danios. Both of them are great. They're super fun to watch. They swim around super fast. So those are all lively options that can all be kept with plants that I would highly recommend for a first-time fish keeper. One thing I forgot to say when I recorded this earlier was please, 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 when you're getting your first fish, don't get goldfish. And when I say goldfish, I'm talking about the ones that you just pick up at any generic pet store that are like 19 cents a piece. I did this when I first started. It's a horrible idea. One, they are super messy, but two, they get absolutely massive. I'll show some pics here just from Google of some humongous comet goldfish. Comet goldfish are the common kind that you get at the pet store, so please, please, please don't get those as your first fish. If you've been keeping fish a while and you have your own advice, please leave them in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you think is the best fish for a first-time fish keeper. I'd also love to know what first fish you had. My first tank was Guppies and Corys. That's why I recommend it. I also had shrimp in there. Shrimp is a little difficult. I don't recommend it for beginners, but it is one that's fun after you've gotten into the hobby a little while. So let me know what you think in the comments below. I want to know what you guys think people should keep for their first aquariums and what you kept in your first aquarium that got you into the hobby. So if you enjoy these type of videos, make sure to subscribe, leave a comment below, like the video, and thanks for watching guys. I'll see you next time.